I was just like, Japan always has so many people doing like a job that I don't think there should necessarily be that many people doing that job. But like, it's fine, everybody get your bag, because there was like one policeman interrogating the driver, t- two policemen who came on bikes, I think, that were like hunched over their bikes writing a ticket, and then another policeman. Okay, this is like a one-way lane, and this isn't even a busy one-way lane. This is like, here's the main road, okay, and then I think this is like 3 lanes, and then here is another like little road. Here's some bushes. Here's like another little road, and this is like a one-way road. But on this one-way road, there was a Mr. Policeman with like his little police light sticks, gesturing at literally nobody, because nobody would go down this road. It's such an unpopular road. But he was gesturing at nobody that they can walk down, that they can drive down this one-way lane, as if they had any other choice. So maybe that was just like Japan with their Japan reaction, or maybe that guy was a cold-hearted criminal. I saw graffiti. Oh my god, let me show you guys the graffiti I saw. Like, this was a rare experience for me in Japan. Outrageous behavior in Japan. So anyway, I was on the wrong side of the track here. After my perilous walk all the way to the restaurant, I got there, and then the restaurant was pretty full. It was like a rather small restaurant. But I took that as a good sign, because that means that it's popular. So there's like 2 girls that are waiting outside, because there's no, like, they're waiting for seating at the bar. And then so I just, I just queue up behind them. But as I'm approaching, they like give me a look, which, yeah, they're just like staring at the person that just stopped right next to them. I think that's pretty normal behavior, but it's still like, why are you looking at me, So then I'm kind of miffed. But also after they stared at me for like a second, they went back to like, themselves. And they started speaking in like American English, which is always like a huge like yikes for me in Japan, just because like I'm not expecting it, and like I really, really, really don't want. I'm so afraid that this has never happened to me in Japan, because I think it wouldn't ever happen in Japan, but this happened to me in China like a bunch of times, where because China has like way fewer tourists, where like every single person that speaks English will be like, oh my god, where are you from? So I don't want that to happen. I don't want to ever like have other Americans find out that I'm American and, God forbid, like chat me up. But I start hearing American English, and I was like, oh. And I'm trying to like disappear into the wall. But and they're not like, they don't care. They're not paying attention to me. Except that like, I don't know if they're new friends. They seem like new friends to me, or at least I wouldn't know to be friends in this way with an old friend, because they just seem so awkward with each other. Like, oh, like, how do you like your steak cooked? Oh, medium rare. Oh, cool. Yeah. Sometimes I cook steak at home. Oh, fancy. Like, it's like a conversation theater, because they're just trying to not have dead air between them. So then I'm feeling more awkward than they are, because I'm just self-conscious about them being awkward. Maybe they're enjoying themselves. I don't know how people talk. But so they're being like that, so I just like, even more from just secondhand embarrassment, want to not be there. And I'm just standing outside regretting my choices, because then I'm gonna like be in this restaurant with them as well, and I don't know, that's just gonna bother me. And then like some people leave, and then I see them leaving, and it's a party of 3, and then they start speaking English, and I was like, more English? Is everybody in this restaurant American? Well, they actually weren't American. But still, more English? So then I'm getting like even more nervous. But these people left, which means that we people can go in, the 3 of us. And then, so as those people left, the waiter comes out, and then he starts, like, he already talked to them because they've been waiting there longer than I have. But then he starts talking to me, and then he starts talking to me in Japanese. And I'm like, no, I don't know what he's saying. And then I just try to point my way out of it. Because usually that works. I just point out what I want, and then, they just think that I'm a grumpy Japanese person. But I don't know what he tried to ask me, and it didn't work. And then he's like, looked at me, and I was like, oh. He's like, oh, okay. And then he like, he gets the message. But then my worst nightmare happens, because these 2 girls in front of me realize that I'm American, or at least realize that I'm an English speaker, and then they hand over their English menu to me, and I have to interact with them, and I just think they're so awkward, and then I feel awkward around them. So okay, fine, whatever, like, it's happened, it's done. Now these 2 people know my greatest secret, and it's fine. They didn't say anything to me, though. I got another look, and then we go in, and these 3 seats are right next to each other, so I have to sit with these 2 girls, and it's still fine, because honestly, like, I'm just being self-conscious. They're just trying to have their like nice new friendship time, and I'm just like on the side feeling secondhand awkward. Give me a second. So then we get into the restaurant, and okay, I don't know. I used to think that it's just because people don't pick up on the fact that I'm not Japanese when I'm being so like terribly awkward with my interactions, which is fair because I have my face covered, and I don't think that I would like really stand out anyway, even if it weren't. I'm just like an Asian girl. Like you wouldn't take a second look at me, and you definitely wouldn't think too hard about like whether or not I'm like anything. But like after they already know that I'm not Japanese, they keep trying to speak Japanese to me. I'm like, why are you already know, everybody, we all know. Why don't you talk to them in Japanese? Like these two other girls had such a smooth ordering experience because they were just like speaking English with them the whole time, and they come to me and then they start speaking Japanese again. I'm like, you just saw me. We just established this. But like they start talking to me in Japanese again, and then I'm like replying like, oh, I don't know. And then the thing is that like now the interaction is so awkward. It's such a little restaurant. It's literally just a bar counter. Now the whole restaurant is staring at me because like I'm the only noise there, you know? Like it's like when like people are chatting and all of a sudden like the whole room just happens to fall quiet, except that the whole room is not quiet. Everybody else fell silent except for me and the waiter because he's trying to get my order, but I don't speak Japanese and he knows that. But after some persisting, I finally managed to order, and then it's like okay. And then I'm just like sitting around, and then like these girls are on my right side, and on my left side I hear even more American English, and I'm like, oh my god, this is such a tourist trap. Okay, that's fine. That's still fine because I've been to tourist traps that I still like the food. But then I saw the food, like I saw the meat cuts, and I was like, that looks bad. But then I was like, no. It's got so many rave reviews. So then I'm just like waiting for my food, and then my food finally comes. And here's the thing. This happens a lot in like these Japanese bar counter setups. Is like they'll put utensils and then you just grab the utensils. Okay? Here is where I sat. So I had to reach past this whole woman and be like, excuse me. I actually had to lean into her. I'm not kidding. Like I straight up stretched my entire arm over her plate. And I'm just like, why? I should have just left. I should have just left when I first got the bad feeling about like these two girls that are trying to become friends that I feel so awkward about. I feel like that's more awkward than asking for utensils. How am I gonna ask for utensils? They think I speak Japanese! Like their English is not fluent. But anyway, so my food comes. Here's a picture of my food. And I thought it was balls. I thought it was bad. And the other thing is like, I don't like meat being too rare because I don't like it where it's so rare that it's like hard to chew, and that's exactly what this was. So I was just sitting here like eating this food that I didn't like until like this other group of tourists came in, and then they were ordering, and then they said 4 medium rare, and I was like, you cannot ask for the temperature? They didn't even ask me. Maybe they asked me, but they asked me in Japanese, even though these other people are allowed to speak English. I don't know. So anyway, I suffered through this. The other thing is that like, this is a huge pet peeve for me. I hate this, where my food is not a consistent temperature. Like this is what I expect to be hot food. This was not hot food. There were like lots of parts of this that were cold. And anyway, it sucked. And I'm never going back. And now I have to go and get my redemption meat today. Big deal about meat noted. Low on protein noted. Tabelag? Yeah, tabelag. I zoned out on your story because I was telling my friend to set up his Roth IRA. Nice. That's like prime dinner time too. I know! But then instead I had to trek 40 minutes. Well, had to is not the... I wanted to walk. I didn't want to walk through such degenerate streets. There were so many youths. I also prefer walking to places too. I can't really do that in CA. You totally got catcalled? I don't think so. Like, none of me was showing Akashi looking ass. Where are the horns though? That's the cutest graffiti ever. Myth, stop being British or not hampa, man. 10 out of 10. Human interaction equals the worst possible outcome. The gaijin is strong with this one. Oh, thank you for water check, faster check. Shen, it's simple. Just learn Japanese. That's expensive. I don't have the money. Shen, heal me with your voice. Hello, Lord Hit Media. How's it going? I walk up to the counter and watch the cashiers freeze like a deer caught in the headlights. It happens all the time and I've been here for years. That would be fine for me. If you are just like some like white guy, or I mean, if you're like obviously foreign, they will immediately adapt to you if they can. They don't do that with me. They just try to speak to me in Japanese. I never know what to do. Because what I don't like is like, I would rather just try to like struggle through the interaction by doing like gestures and whatever and not too much talking than like them trying to like do their customer service and then all of a sudden I'm like, hi, do you speak English? I find that very obnoxious. Like, I don't know, there's something that I think is, maybe it's just the way that like American English sounds. It feels very rude to me. I feel like that's more awkward than asking. Shen has IRL friends now. No, I don't. Just be like sumimasen and point at the utensils. That would be worse. That would be stupid. That would be, I know where the utensils are. I just don't want to get them. You can use your phone to show the image. I don't need to use my phone to show the image. I had a menu. They just insisted. Guys, I'm not stupid, okay? I'm not like unable to communicate and like need hints on how to like express what I mean. It's just that everything is made inconvenient for me for some reason. Everything is just like 30% more difficult than it has to be if like everybody's on the same page. You're so much more dysfunctional in public than online, Schmeg. It's true. There's too much to account for IRL. It probably would have been easier to make friends with the girls at that point. Yeah, because they got special treatment. Google Translate error meat is weird. What's the stuff on the bottom left of the plate? Bottom left, garlic chips. To be honest, I like it that rare. Maybe a tad more well done. I don't like rare meat, but looks like you like extra rare eggs. Eggs are basically meat. Yeah, I like raw egg yolk. Egg yolk is delicious. I never ate rare meat. Try once a barbecue, throw it all up. Medium rare to medium. Yeah, I'm medium rare to medium as well. That meat looking like hell. Yeah, hope you have a better experience today. I'll definitely have a good experience today. I'm just going to go to a place that I like. A fine Schmeg L. Now that I see them side by side, she does resemble Lugia, made for each other. It's crazy how long you drag that out just to not work. Well, I was drawing while I was telling a story. Anti-lurk moment. Hello, Origami Kingdom. This is some amazing storytelling on internal angst and an unfulfilling journey. Thank you. Could have said I actually was going to make such a production out of it. I took a bunch of pictures. I was going to make a PowerPoint and I was going to frame it as investigative journalism into the dark, seedy underbelly of Japan while being extremely dramatic. But I got tired. I'm busy. I have other stuff to do. Could have said I went to this other place and it was bad, so I need to get more today. Appear as foreign as possible. I'm already wearing my cowboy, or not my cowboy, my baseball cap. Redemption meat. Never thought I'd hear that phrase. Yo, just tuning in. Welcome. You came at a good time. Wearing overalls, cowboy boots, and American flag bandana. Hello, I'm good, Chen. I almost got arrested and narrowly escaped because they missed me. Paying fare in public transport. They were hiding and came in the same door we entered to catch the two birds. What? You almost got arrested with that guy that tried to hop in on your fare? Yo, working hard or hardly working? Does streaming count as work? That's the really important question. Apparently, Japanese restaurants are banning tourists because they don't want to deal with this situation. I think that's fair. That's fine. But this place is not going to ban tourists. This place is only appealing. Locals do not go here. I'm sure they don't go here because the food is not good. But also, like, the more locals or the more tourists go to a place, the less the locals go. So even if, like, at one point they had a bunch of locals, definitely not anymore. Menu. I know how to say it, but I didn't need an English menu. I just needed that guy to, like, accept my input. I was pointing at all of that. I was not, like, I didn't need to, like, read the menu. I knew what I wanted. I was just trying to order. Janite burnt rice. Double standards. If you're pretty, they will give you different treatment over the guys. Had that happen in computer class. Cameras off. Voice gave me away. What? Wait, what's this talking about? Double standards where? You mean with the two girls? The two girls were not prettier than me. No. Wear a blonde wig too. Too many Japanese are dyeing their hair all kinds of blonde lately. Don't think I hope. Gonna head out for that sketch looks immaculate for real. Thank you. In addition to the cowboy outfit, yeah, it's a common thing. I went to the back because I was afraid I was gonna miss the vehicle. I went to the back because I was afraid I was going to miss the vehicle. Not sure why they cracked down, but they let you go or give you warning or fine you money. God was on my side. I won't do it again, maybe. Wait, as in you didn't pay the fare? It's okay, Shen. The struggles of being a tourist. Whoa, shots fired. My bad. I misheard about the two girls. Wow, Shen. Damn, Shen. What? How dare you assume? It's not like I'm some kind of ugly duckling, like, oh, of any three people, I'm probably the ugliest one. What? Shen always goes on and on about how she's not that pretty, and now I'm the queen of pretty, better than those girls for sure. No, that's how you guys interpret it. It's not to say that I'm so much prettier than those girls. It's there's no way for you to know that I'm uglier than those girls. That is a wild assumption. Okay, you have a look in schmeg. Or was that only for the piano teacher? No, I was looking kind of hobo, but I wasn't looking hobo. I just was looking shady. I was just looking really up to something. Shen knows her worth, not her. Shen speaks the truth. I mean, it's okay to judge. We won't think any different of you. If I thought I was pretty privileged, I would just say so. I would just say I'm being treated ugly again, like the Kumon days. If Shen wanted, she'd be at the Met Gala. Yeah. If I wanted, then probably I could just be a movie star. But I'll leave it. I don't want to be too happy, you know, or too successful. So I'll just... My pretty friend says she's always getting catcalled by older dudes. There's a downside to that as well. Okay. Those are first world problems if I've ever heard them. I'm not saying that those are like not worthwhile problems, but if you asked anybody, would you rather be pretty or be ugly? And then you said, "Oh, but don't forget, if you're pretty, you'll get catcalled." I don't think that I don't think that there's that many people that would be like, "Oh, you're right. I'll just be ugly then." The top half of your face is pretty schmeg. I don't know about the masked bottom, thank you. Shen's too humble for that. I recall old face streams all with a mask covering from the cheeks down. Yeah, pretty eyes even. My wife said so. Wait, really? You watched me with your wife? I love that. Too humble to be female Ryan Reynolds. What, Shen face reveal when? I've never face revealed. I guess if you caught me at a con with my mask off, which is possible if I'm eating or something. I'd love to get catcalled. Truing. Like, it would legit make my day. Yeah, I heard that before. About how, like, boys don't get complimented that much usually. So, like, you'll remember the one compliment you got from, like, 5 years ago. And you'll think about it on the rainy days. I'll catcall you, Camden. Awooga! Look at that fine set of buns on Camden. Giggity. I would want to get catcalled too. It's boring doing it to the guys that much, or like never. I read about it as like a thing that happens, and then I also, my friend told me, like, I think like that came up as a topic once, and my friend was like, "Oh yeah, I still think about when like so and so said that I was cute." And it wasn't like so and so, by the way, so and so was not like, oh, the cute girl in 8th grade or whatever. So and so was like my aunt. I don't think it was exactly their aunt, but it was like an auntie, like their parents' friend that, you know, like Asian cultures are like, "Oh, hey auntie," even if you're not blood related. Dude, I remember a pretty customer calling me sweetheart at Wendy's. I still remember what the drive-thru cashier said. "I looked good 3 years ago." Yeah. I'm sure pretty people also have their struggles. I do think that it's gross to be sexually harassed randomly by strangers. But do you know that happens even if you're not pretty? It happens a lot more if you're pretty, though. This woman had an argument with her husband about catcalling, so she got her friends to catcall her husband, and he was so happy. She didn't have the heart to tell him off. What? Suffering from success? Okay, I do think that, like, it's not something that I would ever trade off, like, oh yeah, I'd rather be ugly than get catcalled. Personally, I think there's too many benefits to being not ugly. But I also don't want to, like... Everybody pause. Okay. In a moment of public safety announcements, it is still very upsetting to always get harassed. Because also, by the way, like, catcalling isn't always like, oh, hey, beautiful.